Oh, I probably should. Can you hear me though? I'm like not prepared, but we're never prepared. I got a text from Coach. My pakish is ready. How's everybody doing? Let's get the lights on. The shashing. It's the shashing. the shashing in the shoe. Have y'all ever watched Freddy Got Fingered? Oh, are you joking right now? Oh, y'all, hold on. Did y'all forget? 2 seconds, we'll be right back. No. The teleprompter was black. How was I supposed to do anything? I just pulled the button on the back. Or pushed the button on the back. Yeah, it's good. Let's see if it moves. All right. What's going on, beautiful people? What episode is this? 506? That's amazing. 506. Pretty awesome. My name is Kasabian. What's going on, beautiful people? I will be your host with talent on loan from God. Let's get into today's show. We got a couple of topics. Please stop jiggling. We got a couple of topics to get into. There's a couple of things that I really want to discuss. We didn't talk about Jake Paul and Mike Perry's fight, but I really want to, as well as the UFC fight this weekend that went down, and it was pretty awesome. Everything else should be interesting facts. Not really facts. It's just interesting things that I caught like wind of, and it'll be a good show. Let's get into it. And yeah, I'll take that out of my ear. Well, I don't know, not yet. Snoop Dogg is like hands down the most American person. Oh my God, my voice just cracked. But Snoop Dogg is the most American person ever. Ever. And I'll do my ad this week for Rise. I'm drinking some now. It's mushroom coffee, and it's not bad. Not bad.
Kasabian.
Yeah. Excuse me for making a mess.
Lavoe.
Look.
Kasabian. Lavoe.
Look. I am the one that they look at because I'm different. Listen.
We already knew that he gifted. On the wave. We hit it concave.
Okay.
Up for days. Pseudo insomnia.
I really don't sleep.
Watching the internet.
Let that good to me. Yeah. Did y'all see the fake Drake?
I do them shit like every day. I won't say that I'm rich till I see 20 M's.
Hey, when I show my legs, I'm dancing like Ellen.
I need a million right now.
It's going down.
Boogie down. Uptown or
Downtown, East Side, 2233 East Stewart Avenue, where I show my ass now brand new. It's Kasabian Lavoe wine. What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show, live from Las Vegas. This is episode 506. Thank you for being here. What's going on, beautiful people? Y'all my favorite people. I like being here. And I got to do it more often, but I say that every week and then I don't, and then I feel bad. So, excusez-moi, numero deuces, but I will attempt it this week. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's, I see why people with corporate jobs don't ever do things or have hobbies and stuff. Like, I get it. You really give your life to these corporate gigs, and it's pretty depressing. Like, I can honestly say I finally feel like I'm a nobody, which is weird. Very weird sentiment to say. I feel that, though. But here I am and here I stand. Fucking, I don't know. Let's get into today's show. I'm supposed to be streaming on TikTok, but I'm pretty sure if I do, they'll kick me for saying bad words. Because probably not. I be watching the craziest streams. I want to stream playing my race car game because I got a simulator and I'll be in the house race car racing. not breaking my real cars, which has saved me a ton of money, by the way. I'm sorry, but having a simulator in the house, being able to the fuck is the name, man, of the game? I play Forza. Promise you, it's the best thing I've ever done. It saves me so much money, but at the same time, I'm developing a really bad itch to buy so many cars. Oh, I want a Mercedes E190. I want a 4-door Skyline. I want a couple of 4-door cars. Oh, I want a 2-door Bronco. I want an Audi R8. I want like a 2010 R8. I think I want a 2016 Cadillac CTS-V, and I want to blow it out. I just, stupid game, but I'll end up buying all those cars and selling them, so let's see what happens. All right, let's get into these topics. We got a bunch of topics. We got a bunch of things we're going to talk about. We got some stories we're going to cover, but ChatGPT writes the intro. We do the show. I hope the sound is good. I feel like something changed with the sound, and I don't know if it sounds okay. Kasabian Lavoe. I know it's so irritating. Again, my name is Kasabian with talent on loan from God. I get that from the great Rushy. What the fuck did he go? Okay, I don't even want to get into that, but I get that from Rush Limbaugh. That's the person I look up to in this broadcasting game. So yes, my name is Kasabian with talent on loan from God. ChatGPT writes the intro. We do the show. Y'all the beautiful people that I do it for. This is episode 506. And hopefully the teleprompter worked, because when I looked, it was not even on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Kasabian Lavoe Show, where we dive into the latest and greatest in entertainment, news, and everything in between. Today, we're kicking things off with a recap of Jake Paul and Mike Perry's showdown and the latest action from the UFC. Who came out on top? We'll find out. Now, the UFC was highly disappointing this weekend. Fucked up everything for me, but hey, we'll talk about it. Next, my bad, I'm hiccuping. Next, we'll discuss the unexpected hazards of snapping selfies with the royal horses. They might look majestic, but they're not as friendly as they seem. Will you get away from the horses? Stop it. Speaking of unexpected, did you know that Costco manages to sell out within just 26 of 27 days without holding any inventory? I think that is one of the most fantastical facts that I've ever learned about a business. I've never known any business that can run out of everything they sell in less than 30 days and have to restock the entire store every month. Where's the blown thing at? Hold on, I got one of those. Viste, así se me fue la cabeza. Pagado. In other news, rapper The Game is making headlines for having to sell his home. Don't know how they ended up doing all this. Very odd, but Game is selling a home to cover a lawsuit. And we're wondering what it all means for his next move. And in the realm of fame in California, Snoop Dogg continues to reign supreme. I mean, honestly, Snoop Dogg has probably done more side missions than any human being alive, and he is the most famous person ever. I don't think there's anyone more famous than Snoop Dogg. There's no rapper more famous than Snoop Dogg, and I'll stand on that till the day I die. Hopefully a long, long time from now. We'll also be talking about Robert Downey Jr., my dad, his expected return to the MCU, plus some exciting discussions from President Biden that's turning heads, to say the least, in a good way. I almost like what he's proposing. So let's talk about it. I want to see, I'm on both sides. I want to be able to give my opinion, but as well, I want to make sure that if the Democratic Party gives a good opinion or gives a good has a good idea, I'm down. I'm always open for it. And let's talk about something that my nerd heart cannot contain. It's called dark oxygen. They found oxygen under the sea. It's so exciting. I'm so excited, but they're going to fuck this up. I'm telling you. Lastly, we've got some breaking news on El Mayo, where reports are swirling that this might have been a kidnapping. We'll dive into the details of what this could mean, so stay tuned, because this is all happening right now here on the Kasabian Lavoe Show, live from Las Vegas. I thought they would be more like, oh God. Okay. I want to change this.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Why do people insist on taking pictures with the royal horses? Every day I wake up, I drink my coffee, and I watch people insist on taking pictures with the meanest horses I've ever seen in my entire life. As a Puerto Rican, I have affection for horses. I love riding horses. I haven't ridden one in quite some time. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I've ridden a horse in probably 20 years. That shit is a crazy statement to say. I used to love riding horses, but I just don't have time to go horseback riding. And to rent a horse and go horseback riding through Red Rock, it's not the cheapest thing to do, but it's an all-day thing. No, I don't got the time. But I used to love horseback riding because when I was younger, I was really poor, and I would do all these, rich people like donating their time to poor kids in the ghetto, so we used to do stupid shit like snowboarding and ride horses fucking for free. But anyway, as an adult, I haven't ridden that many horses. Well, I've ridden a few horses. But anyway, I haven't been horseback riding in quite some time, but I do love horses. Now, watching everybody go to London and stand in front of the royal guards with the horses and then get bit and like picked up off the ground and then get offended that the royal guard literally says, "Get away from the horse." And like you look at him and go, "Oh, I just want to take a quick picture." And the horse is like, "No, bitch." And the horse grabs you by your whole arm and flings you. The horse flings you. I've seen children get flung by the horse and then they get mad at the guard and the guard is just like this. The whole time the guard don't move. The whole time the guard says, "Don't touch the horse. Don't touch the royal horse." And the horse is a snippy motherfucker. You're supposed to feed the horse like that with a flat hand. This horse grabs your whole arm and just throws you away from him. Stop taking pictures with the royal horses. They don't like people, especially you people that want to like pet its face. They walk up and the first thing they do, they go, "Oh, look at the horse." And then the horse bites the shit out of them. Stay away from the horse. Why y'all keep playing by them horses? It's not safe. Find something safe to do. It is not a good idea to take pictures with the horses that don't like you. They just don't like you. This story isn't going to come out all the way because we don't know. We're lightly touching on it. I promise it's going to be... Okay, you know when you're baking and it says lightly grease? This is what we're doing with the story with Game. Game was sued many years ago for an incident that occurred during a game show, and now it turns out that the chicken's here to roost. Is that what the term is? I don't know. He was sued for like $7 million, or upwards of $10 million for what occurred on a TV show. From what I remember, this is all off the top of my head. Anyway, the judge is saying that he has to make the payment. I didn't realize that when a judgment was made on you, that they would force you to liquidate. My nose itches. They would force you to liquidate so that you can cover the debt. But they're making him sell a house so that he can cover this $7 million debt. This is so weird to me because I need more information, but at the same time, I don't want any more information because we're just lightly greasing and lightly touching on this subject. Pause. I really don't care anymore of what happened. The story was nasty when it first happened. The fact that there's money involved and now he's selling a house behind it, that's a lot. It sucks. Don't want to cover it anymore. So there's that about that. Now, if my nose doesn't stop itching, I swear to God, I'm going to quit. I'm sorry. I don't know. My allergies always get me when I come into the studio. It's dusty in here. The Costco inventory situation to me is so amazing. So let me explain. As a business owner, you purchase items that you would like to sell at a quick pace. When selling anything, you want to know like how long your shelf life is and how many times you have to replenish. Always got to replenish to keep making money. That's merchandising. That's how grocery stores work. When I opened my furniture store, I started to read books on grocery stores and grocery store owners that made it big, i.e. Sam Walton. That man was a genius at merchandising and selling at that great amount for the lowest amount possible to the consumer, which then gave him the greatest dividends that we've ever seen in merchandising history. Sam Walton and the Walton family are nothing outside of geniuses when it comes to that type of selling. It's very difficult. When I heard that Costco is able to sell every product they have within 26 to 27 days, in which they have to replenish everything that they have every month. That's 12 times a year. They have to restock every single store they have. That floored me. My next business venture is just more real estate, and commercial real estate is definitely where we want to jump into. I don't know if I'm going to get into merchandising, but I have a feeling and just this small inclination that I want to open my own 99-cent store or some version of, I don't know, a 10 and under. I don't think I've ever seen a true 10 and under store and then have like some decent to mid. I don't know. This is when it really comes into business planning and figure out exactly where I would get my products from. But I think I want to get back into opening I miss my furniture store. I miss selling furniture. I miss that rush, but I don't think I want to do it with just furniture. So I don't know. I'm just free balling at the moment, but Costco getting rid of that much inventory is eye opening to me because it like, what are they doing? Makes me want to study it more. It makes me want to learn more about it. It's just the nerd in me. I think it's awesome, but that wasn't the only nerd story that I had. I got the Black Oxygen story, which is like, bro, I'm nerd square right now. I really am. Before we continue on to all the good stories and all the serious topics, can we talk Jake Paul and Mike Perry? Now, the Jake Paul of YouTube, that's gone. Jake Paul is a boxer, but Jake Paul has yet to put himself in a position that is going to really test his skill. And I don't care what anybody says. He's not a bad fucking fighter. The kid has skill, and he's fighting fighters that should be able to beat him, but he is outboxing them. And we're almost going on like 5 or 6 years, maybe longer now that he's been doing this. Honestly, I think Jake's now been doing this for almost 10 years. You got to give it to the kid. He puts on a decent event, and it wasn't that bad. Now, fast forward, Saturday, UFC's in Manchester. I'm geeked. I wanted to watch Paddy Pimblton, Paddy the Baddy, fighting my boy Green. Now, look, I thought that Green was going to really put it on Paddy. Pause. This whole shit sounds disgusting. But anyway, Paddy the Baddy ended up sleeping Green. He put him out. I think that he broke his arm, too. So that's not too fun. Nobody ever wants to see their competitor really get injured, especially injured in that fashion where you ruin their career. You don't want to break a boxer's arm. Like, Green is known for fighting. Like, he throws his hands. He's not a submission guy. He's a boxer. He's out there throwing his hands. Either way, it was a great fight. Shout out to both of them, but I really thought Green was going to take it, and he didn't. Shout out to Paddy for being as good as he was. Then the heavyweights, really weird there. Wasn't too excited for that. I don't know how I felt about watching the heavyweights, especially because I really wasn't too excited for it in the first place, but it went really fast, kind of how I thought it would go. Curtis Blades didn't really show up, but nonetheless, I guess it looks better for Aspinall for later because he was able to show that he could take on a Curtis Blades. I really don't know how I feel about it. I think Curtis Blades is an amazing fighter, just wasn't his night. What else happened that night? That was it for me. I wasn't geeked about much. The Paddy fight was the big fight for me. That was the only one I was looking forward to. And then the big disappointment of the night, which I fell asleep on, I can't even front. Watching the main event was the most boring thing that I've ever seen. Bilal really deserved it. Good for him for beating the shit out of fucking Leon. Leon looked like he was half asleep and he wasn't prepared. I don't know what to say. As a heavyweight champion, you're supposed to go dying on your shield for your belt. That was not what happened there. But it was a great UFC event, and I'm really, really excited for Noche inside of the Sphere, which I'm trying to get tickets to because that looks like it's going to be one of the dopest events this year. And I don't think that the Canelo fight with Bambalang is going to do too well. I think Canelo's going to dog walk this kid. They're going to give him a bunch of money. He's going to disappear. That's just how I feel about the Canelo fight. Honestly. Now, we got some pretty dope stories. We got some pretty dope things to talk about. Let's get into it. That's a terrible song to start playing. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I thought that would be a good song to start playing. But the stories that we do have today, they range. They range from the Olympics to the cartel to the president to just a little bit of everything. First story's at a billboard, and it's about Uncle Snoop, who's honestly the most American person I think that I've ever seen to this point. There's nobody more American than Snoop Dogg. How do you come out of the ghetto, literally fighting murder charges as a young man, have the best rap album probably in the history of rap music, and 50 years, 40 years in the game, plus, God, it's really amazing to see the longevity, How many rebrands have we seen of Snoop? And it works every time. Snoop just knows how to do it well. First stories at a billboard. From cheering for Team USA to carrying the torch to attending to all of the major events. Here are some of the best photos. Oh, yeah, we don't have the photos here. We're going to post them in a clip. I do apologize about that. But anyway, Snoop was actually there supporting America in such a big way. Yes, Snoop did come out with the torch. It was so dope to see Snoop come out with the torch, but Snoop come out with the torch. But besides that, he was actually there supporting every team, as well as Flavor Flav. Did y'all get to see the video of Flavor Flav playing the piano inside of the U.S. ambassador's chambers? That's beautiful. Do you understand that Flavor Flav can play like 64 instruments? Flavor Flav is probably one of the most talented musicians in the history of hip hop, but people don't remember that or just refuse to speak about it. Anyway, Snoop Dogg being at the Olympics is the epiphany of hip hop. Like, that is amazing. That's Uncle Snoop that carried the torch. That's Uncle Snoop that sat there next to Simone Biles' family, clapping, going crazy, supporting them like he was their coach. Like, that's awesome. Snoop has quickly become the USA's unofficial mascot of the 2024 Paris Olympics. I don't like that. I don't think Snoop Dogg has become our mascot. I think Snoop Dogg has become the American ambassador. When you see Snoop Dogg, you think America, not a fucking mascot. So I don't like that comment. I want to make sure that's stated properly. Snoop Dogg is America. When you see him, you think of us. Earlier this year, it was announced that the rapper would be joining the NBC team as one of the official reporters for the games this summer. And he's been on a site, literally. Snoop has been to every game. Like, Snoop is really in there. But he is on site and he's delivering the regular sports on the Olympics primetime show. And for the first weekend of the Olympics, Snoop stepped out in custom gold Skechers as he watched the Team USA men's swim team win their first gold medal. Snoop has to deal with Skechers. Snoop made Skechers kind of dope. They got some purple ones that I was down to put on. I seen the gold ones. Now, I'm not saying I'll wear them, but for Snoop, I would. Robert Downey Jr., to me, is like a very fantastical person to look up to. Robert Downey Jr. came through a lot of adversity. If you don't realize this, I like people that go through adversity because I myself have gone through adversity. And one day, some podcaster, boy or girl, is going to be like, man, Kasabian went through so much adversity. I look up to him, even though I'm short. But Robert Downey Jr. to me is an amazing story, period. And if you don't like him in Tropic Thunder, then you can go, honestly, I really could care less. But this story is out of CNN. If you weren't paying attention, I love Comic-Con. And when they come to Vegas, I'm going to be up in there. But I just don't ever take pictures because, yeah, I don't need to see that. They were in San Diego this weekend. I saw Dexter panel. First off, I got all geeked. I saw Dexter walk around with boxes of donuts. I'm like, oh my God, and Dexter. I'm such a nerd. I'm like, wow, look how good his skin looks. Dexter got paid good. I'm always thinking of the bag, too. When I see characters that have a 6-7 season stretch, like, I wonder what that bag looks like. I would love a 7-8 season stretch of something that's, like, iconic. But anyway, stories out of CNN. Robert Downey Jr. is making a return to the Marvel. This is not just to the Marvel universe or just coming back. This isn't that, okay? This is unique and special in so many ways. And I think this setup was a lot cleaner than what we saw. And we'll get to the story, but hear me out. Captain America was played by Chris Evans, who was the Flame in Fantastic Four. Fine. Then there was a diversity hire where they changed him to Captain America, and now Captain America is Papa Doc from 8 Mile. And he used to be Chicken Hawk. So now Chicken Hawk is gone, and Papa Doc is Captain America. Follow me. In the recent in the recent film with Wolverine and Deadpool, Chris Evans is back as the Flame. Now, mira, the Flame is the movie, not the Flame. The Fantastic Four is the movie that really introduces Doom. You get to understand who that character is. Playboy millionaire from New York that stole, what's his name's girlfriend, the stretchy arm guy's girlfriend. So this dude was supposed to be swaggy as shit. I don't think that there's anybody else that could play this person outside of Al Pacino. To be honest with you, Doom, I mean, this is the perfect character for Robert Downey to play. And bringing back Chris Evans as the Flame, it just kind of lets you know that we can change Tony Stark, right? Tony's dead. He's gone. This is probably the best I don't know, the best rebrand that they could have came up with by getting rid of Kang or the whole 5 seasons of Kang. Bro, they disappeared that character so quick and came up with this shit. And honestly, it might be the best thing that they've done for the series outside of like getting rid of all the diversity hires. Disney had a whole lot of diversity hires for the past like 4 years. Real shitty movies. We never want to talk about those MCU movies ever again, by the way. I don't want to see all those movies. I don't want to see Spider-Man surrounded by every female superhero ever again. I just don't. I don't want to. I want to see good writing. I want to see good character writing, good character development. I don't want to see diversity hires. Chicken Hawk disappearing, turning into Papa Doc, turning into Captain America. It's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to do like a Spanish guy is going to be Black Panther? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I don't think we should do that. But anyway, I digress. It frustrates me when I see people not be open-minded to new characters. I think to watch Robert Downey as a bad guy is going to give us so much more perspective and just more respect to his ability to act. This is going to be great. I don't see how this is going to be a bad thing. And rumor has it that he might come back as the character that he played in Tropic Thunder to play the new Black Panther. I'm just saying. These are rumors that are swirling about in the MCU. But again, instead of stepping into his legendary Iron Man suit, the comic book character that he portrayed in over 9 MCU movies, and he played him, chef's kiss. He's coming back as Dr. Doom in the new movie titled Avengers Doomsday. New mask, same task. Robert Downey said, "What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters." I think he said, "What can I tell you?" Not what did I tell you. But I'm going to let them slide with that. I think this is super exciting. Shout out to Chris Evans. I can't wait to see more good written movies from MCU. I'm so over the same husband cheated, 2 girls pregnant, everybody's a mass killer. I'm so over that. Can we just start something? Can we write anything else? I miss sitcoms. John Leguizamo, reach out. Let's work on Empire 2. J-Lo, help me with my sitcom. I would like for you to play my mother in a sitcom. I want to make happy stuff that's not so fucking dark and ominous. 50, reach out. Let's work on some shit. Let's work on a sitcom that's more Power-esque, as more opposed to being a sitcom that's like a corny ABC sitcom. And there's nothing wrong with corny ABC sitcoms, but I think we could do a darker sitcom, and I think 50 would be the person to do it. Avengers Doomsday is set to hit theaters on May 2026. According to the press release, Anthony and Joe Russo, who have previously directed 4 Marvel movies, this is great. The Russo brothers are awesome. They also have been tapped to direct Avengers Secret Wars coming May 2027. I'm more excited for what's to come. I don't care about the Disney Plus shit. They pretty much lost me there. After WandaVision, Loki was pretty dope. You guys ruined Loki. Bring Loki back to the MCU. Get him off of Disney Plus. Let's really figure out what we're going to do moving forward. This is a really good look for Robert Downey, but we have to find some good characters that are going to keep us going. Don't get me wrong. I love the female characters, but can you give us a real one that we can attach to and not one that just changes according to the goddamn flavor of the year? Because Captain Marvel switched up her haircut quick. Like, she really went from Captain Marvel to JoJo Siwa in like 2 movies, and she killed Thanos in one fell swoop. Thanos. She was like, dead, Thanos. And he's like, "Oh, you killed me." I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, Joe Biden did something today that I was pretty impressed with. Just want to say I was pretty impressed with. Maybe. Look, I don't even want to lie. Let's just say that he said something that I was kind of impressed with. I really wanted to be open-minded about this, but let's discuss it and we'll see where we go. Just being completely transparent. I don't know if they're saying stuff like this just to get people like me to speak about it or they really mean it. Stories out of the USA Today. From Washington, President Joe Biden called for major changes to the Supreme Court on Monday, including legislation to impose 18-year terms. That's a great thing. Limits. I love that. It would enforce a code on ethics for the justices. I think this is pretty awesome. That sounds great. I think they all need limits, himself included. He's rigor mortis and he's telling us about limits. The person do you know that when Joe Biden first ran for president, it was in black and white? They used to talk like this. Today, Joe Biden was standing outside and he was telling lies in front of the courthouse. We now listen to Joe Biden. That's how they spoke when Joe Biden was first running for president back in the 1920s. Yeah, I want terms for not just the justices, but for a lot of the people that are in the White House and a lot of people that are up there. Do you understand? There's over 200 million, probably $400 million that get wasted of our tax monies every year on made up jobs that are in the government. There's over 2 million government employees and they get paid grossly over the amount that they should for what they do. And I'm not talking about the pencil pushers. I'm talking about the ones that make up positions and get paid 10, 12, 30, 40 million. There was a fucking DEA team called Team America or some shit that was going around stealing money from the dope dealers and doing just like what you've seen on every Power, all the TV shows, Wire, everything we've ever seen. These guys were DEA agents that were pretending to be Playboy drug dealers. They were undercover for so long that they ended up like living the lifestyles hand and foot with our tax monies on a $20 million a year salary. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Joe Biden says he wants to set terms. Great. And then he says this bullshit right after. He also put in his support behind the passage of a new Constitution amendment that would limit immunity for presidents. Now, why would I want that? I want my president to get away with everything that he wants to do. All of them. Do you understand that our president, it's like the king in chess. You just don't go after the king. Why is that so hard to understand? Do you understand that removing any type of protection for any president moving forward would have to remove protection for presidents behind them? It just doesn't make sense to play this game. Limitations sound great. As a matter of fact, I think that's something that we should actually implement further into government politics. We should definitely start not only limits, but how about re-evaluations? You work for us. Why can't we reevaluate and make sure that you're making the money that you say you make? Why is Nancy Pelosi worth $500 million? And how come you could literally live your stock exchange life off of every decision that she makes and live a fucking great life? What a great return you'll make by just following what she does. That type of stuff doesn't bother anybody. I don't know. That's just me. I think it's weird. It's lion's mane and chaga or something.
Okay.
So I'm drinking this coffee. It's called Rise. I'm supposed to make an ad for it. And the ad is supposed to be like, don't drink Rise. Rise is not good. It's taking the puffiness out of my face. It's doing this, that, and the third. Completely honest, tastes great. Doesn't have a bad taste. I was looking for a mushroom coffee or some type of brain with mushrooms. I needed something for my brain to wake me up. I've been having a lot of long days with my corporate job and I'm trying to fucking really beat that funk. It's been working. I didn't want to do the commercial or do the little ad until I was completely satisfied with the coffee. I like it, and I'll do the ad sometime in the morning. I thought it could be more spontaneous and like less planned out, but I'm sure I'll practice it like 75 million times to make sure it looks completely fake. But Rise, I don't know if I got a password or a code word, but I'm sure just use Kasabian Lavoe at checkout. You save 20%. You literally put Kasabian Lavoe in any place you go. See what happens. You might get a discount. K-Lavo, Kasabian Lavoe, might be 20% off, and I might get a check. I'm a nerd, and I want to make sure that you understand when I say I'm a nerd. When I read this story, I literally had goose pimples and almost had a tear in my eye because it was so exciting to think that mermaids might be real. Just hear me out. Have you ever heard of dark oxygen? Fucking me neither. Until the other day. So apparently there's oxygen underwater that is being made from different metals that have collected together and they're creating chemical reactions, but it's creating oxygen. Now, this is where my brain goes, oh shit, mermaids might be real. You're telling me if I'm able to make it 13,000 feet under the water, there's more oxygen there than there is any other place in the ocean. Literally creating more oxygen under the ocean with no sun than the amount of oxygen that you would even get like above the water. Is that not like mind-blowing to you? What do you mean we have a way? Do you understand that oxygen comes from photosynthesis in the sun? We were told with no sun, we would die. There would be no oxygen, dead. Don't you know that the sun is the key to life with plants? So for you to tell me that we have oxygen under the sea, it just blows my brain. And then I read that the fuel people are already considering using it and taking advantage of what we found under the ocean. And it's kind of upsetting because you just don't want to touch these type of things. This is amazing new science. Why bother what we just discovered? This is cool. Things are supposed to change when we learn more information about what's going on. I've been watching a lot of tornado videos with my son and hurricane and weather videos because my son is just interested in how weather works. So when we saw this, I was like, this is amazing. But anyway, let's get into it. Stories out of CNN. Scientists discovered dark oxygen being produced more than 13,000 feet below the ocean surface. Pitch black. There's no sun. How is oxygen being developed at the bottom of the ocean with no plants? And it's not even from something that's alive. It's from metal. Like, this is fucking... Am I the only person that thinks this is fucking cool? I'm sorry. A mysterious phenomenon first observed in 2020. I'm tongue-tied because I'm excited and because I can't read. A mysterious phenomenon first observed in 2013 aboard a vessel in a remote part of the Pacific Ocean appeared so... Why do they use this big-ass word? Preposterous. It convinced ocean scientist Andrew Sweetman that his monitoring equipment was faulty. Sensor readers seemed to show that oxygen was being made on a seabed of 4,000 meters, which is about 13,100 feet below the surface, where there's no light could penetrate, and the same thing happened actually 3 times. Mind you, he was so upset over this that he sent back all the sensors like, look, these sensors don't work. Something's wrong. Okay. How many times do you think those sensors were going to be wrong? And were they really reading gibberish, or was he just jumping the gun? So after he told all his students to just pack up all the sensors and send it back, he gave up, threw his hands up. He's like, this is bullshit. They ended up going back, and this research actually does show that oxygen is being produced under the ocean at 13,000 feet, completely pitch black, with metals that are reacting, I mean, literally on the seaboard, just sitting there, just bubbling up oxygen. Like, this is the craziest shit that I've ever heard. And the reason why I said, oh my God, mermaids could be real, there's an oxygen source under the water. Like, how do you capture it and use it? And I'm sure somebody already figured that out before us. There's no way this is sitting there at the bottom of the ocean and it was never discovered before us. I highly doubt that. With pyramids as big as they are and the things that have already occurred on this earth, if we're the first to discover it, I think our species has been the first to discover it, but I definitely think that this has been around for quite some time. And it's like, I'm just going to keep watching it. I'm going to talk about it some more. I know y'all might not care about this nerd stuff, but this shit to me, just like, it makes me get excited. So I apologize if it's corny. I don't think it is. I think it's dope. Dark oxygen. Look into it. Let's nerd out together. And let's get into one of my near and dear stories of the night. The reason why this is near and dear is because I did not think this is what this was.
Oh God.
El Chapo is the name of my axolotl. El Chapo is a drug dealer.
I do it on my lonely.
I love this story.
It get lonely.
El Mayo is El Jefe to El Chapo. El Chapo is also the name of my axolotl. He's a black and purple axolotl. We call him El Chapo because he's from Mexico and he's mucho caliente. I love my axolotl. Story was that El Mayo was caught by the police. Story was wrong. This story's out of Rudders. Notorious Sinaloa cartel. And please forgive me, anybody. I'm just covering the story. Yo no quiero ningún smoke. I don't want cigarette smoke. I don't want vape smoke. I don't want cigar smoke. I don't want smoke from a barbecue. Leave me out of all the smoke. I'm just simply covering the story. Okay? El Chapo, El everybody. What? You know I go live at 8 o'clock. Why you be playing? Why you playing? It's 8. And I text you earlier. I'm gonna hit you up. Okay, my bad. See what I do? My bad. So again, I just don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems. The story's out of Rudders. Notorious Sinaloa cartel co-founder Ismael, I don't even want to say his name, El Mayo, was forcibly kidnapped by the sons of his former partner, El Chapo Guzman, who brought him to the United States where both men were detained. Zambada's defense attorney said on Saturday, Frankie Perez, Zambada's lawyer, said El Chapo's sons. How the fuck you want me to cover this? I don't know what to say. El Chapo's sons kidnapped El Mayo and dropped them off in America. And this is the story. This information is coming from Frank Perez. Why? They threw him on a plane, forcibly brought him to the United States against his will. And Zambada has pled not guilty to drug charges as of Friday in a court in Texas, in El Paso. Guzman Lopez forcibly kidnapped my client, Perez said in a statement. And then they turned him in. I don't get this. Nah, remember last week I went live and it didn't tell you either? I thought this week it wasn't going to show you either. And then you didn't even pop up last week. I apologize for not reaching out to you because I always do hit you up. So I'm gonna be the bigger man right now and I'm going to apologize. And I'm sorry. I should have hit you up. You my A1. So loaner, my bad. Let's move forward and let's talk about what happened with El Mayo. Can we just really, is this shit a movie or what? El Mayo got kidnapped by El Chapo's nenes. Can I film it? Can I be a part of the next movie? I just don't want to die. Like, I'm wearing a pink t-shirt with some old white ladies. I don't care how gangster you are. Just let me know what happens next. El Chapo's sons kidnapped El Mayo to do what? Get El Chapo out? I'm writing a book right now about El Chapo, my axolotl, and I wonder, do I have to get permission to use that name? Is that a thing? Do I have to get licensing? Does the Guzman family have to give me the okay to call my axolotl El Chapo? Did you know that axolotls are indigenous to Mexico and they live on top of a mountain in Mexico and they don't really have any prey or predators because they just live in like a little pond by themselves, and then scientists in America have stolen them to test on them. So I now have an axolotl in which I'm not going to test on him. I just want to keep him forever and ever because he's so stinking cute. And I'm writing my book about my axolotl, El Chapo, being mucho caliente in the summer and how we have to put blocks of ice in his fish tank in the summertime because it gets so hot here in Vegas that we have to keep his water at 6. I'm teaching my son about temperature and degrees. So I'm writing a book about temperature and degrees because I'm trying to write books that can teach other kids about temperature and degrees. Don't judge me. I'm doing things for my future and my family. Somebody got to do it. It was 115 for 10 days or 20 days in Las Vegas. I got to teach my son about weather. So I figured, why not teach everybody else's kids about weather too and make some money? I'm putting out the books. I'm working on it. But again, I want to thank everybody for being here. I think we had a great show. We had a bunch of topics today. I had a great time. Stick around. We'll be back on Wednesday. Shout out to Loner. What am I going to play? Kasabian Lavoe. Where's Look? I want to play Look. Yeah. All right, y'all. That is the show. My name is Kasabian. I was your host for this evening, for this morning. Whenever you watch this, good morning.
Kasabian
Lavoe.
Wine.
Kasabian
Lavoe.
Wine.
Kasabian Lavoe.
Kasabian.
On God, they look at cause I'm different. Listen, we already knew that he gifted. On the horn of the wave, we hit it concave.
Cave?
Up for that.
It's not even hard.
I really don't sleep.
What?
Watching the internet.
Like that could have been me.
The sacrifice that was made.
If we're getting there. I'll be here on Wednesday. I'll be back. I'm trying to get motivation. I really don't feel too motivated.
Right now.
I'll come back.
I need $1 million right now.
Thank you for being here though. You know, I gotta say thank you for pulling up. But I gave you an hour pause. Hour of hits. My name is My name is Kasabian. Live in the moment, don't live in the past. Be safe, stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you.
They'll never be another me.
Burning for they enemies, so why not DJ envy me? Angela Yee, better yet, Kasabian the guy. Rose go me, Rose go me.
That was a play off the Breakfast Club. Basically, how you like your eggs if I'm lit and bacon. Them hot cakes, I came for the bread and the spread.
Did you hear that? If I'm lit and bacon. Damn.
Spent 20K on
I'm out.
spread. That was for the